there's a new revival coming through. Some of you, we're using a new term now because revival's gotten too religious. We're using the word awakening. Same thing. There's an awakening coming. The main difference for us is the awakening doesn't just entail the church. It's going to be everywhere. Bars, people are going to begin to fall off stools and begin to speak in tongues. A wind's going to come through and everybody at a concert is just going to give their heart to God. Nobody's going to have to get up and say, here's what's happening, here's what's going on. You know, Peter saved 3,000 people in his first sermon in street ministry. We don't even value street ministry as anything now. Good luck. Save 4 people a day. We count that as a small thing. But anyway, we have the opportunity to save thousands in seconds. Let's take it. The word says that the violent take it by force. Let's get violent for Christ. Because if we'll get there, if we'll go to that place, if we'll consecrate ourselves, I tell you, He'll come with a force that you can't turn on, you can't turn it off. You can't tell Him when to come, you can't tell Him when to leave. He'll just be here. He'll stay here. And it will, like I said, it's coming to schools. It's coming to churches, it's coming to hospitals, it's coming to the Senate, it's coming, if we'll just get ourselves focused long enough, if we'll consecrate ourselves well enough, He can show up. He will. I'm telling you, classes, they won't be able to have classes. I'm going to see it, John. I'm going to go to Marshfield High School, and I'm going to see kids laying in the parking lot, crying out to God. I'm going to see teachers dancing down the hallways because God just set them free. They just got a call. There was somebody that died, but now they're alive again because God's working the way He promised He was going to work. And we ought to shout for it. We ought to dance for it. David, who did not just get done fighting a battle, or just get done killing a giant, or just get done, all he was doing was carrying a box in, began to dance so fervently, spin and twirl through the streets that his wife thought that he was being very inappropriate. Because he saw the Spirit of God moving into the center of where he was living. He said, I want to dance for that. And we give God a good little... Because He's given us, well, not much. Just that whole get into heaven thing. Read about hell if you need inspiration. I don't want to scare you into heaven. I dread the thought of scaring anybody into heaven because they're not going to get there. If you don't love Him, if you're not faithful, if you don't think that He's beautiful, if you don't wake up in the morning and He's the first thing on your mind, there's not a relationship there. We're asking for intimacy. You can't be intimate with someone you're in a relationship with. We've told you for years, just come on up to the altar, walk into the bedchamber with the key. Jesus is not willing to prostitute Himself out to people that think they can come up here and give $50 and then just get their mind blown. He's not going to do it. And He has given us more grace than we have ever deserved. He has given people that have that mindset gifts and healing because He is more gracious than I would ever be. But He is done. I believe God is done playing that game. He is done letting us as the church think that He is a whore. He's done with it. Because He's not. And He's not cheap. Think about these people that live in Sudan, that live in these little countries where they're back in the back somewhere, where nobody ever comes to their village but once. We come in here we come in here 104 times a year, and some of you still have not grabbed a hold of this. They get one chance. One guy commits to translating at least a portion of the New Testament into their language and comes and tries his best to give them the opportunity. And if they miss that, they miss out. But we have treated it like God owes us the 104 chances a year. He does not owe you that.